around the Department of Defense. This is your daily news brief.
Making room for space. I'm Mark Weeks. Defense Secretary Dr. Mark Esper spoke at the Air Force Association's 2019 Air, Space, and Cyber Conference in National Harbor, Maryland, and said great power competition has re-emerged in a way not seen since the Cold War.
While the United States military was focused on ongoing operations in the Middle East, our strategic competitors were actively modernizing their militaries, growing their power, and expanding their influence. Russia remains our greatest near-term security challenge. China presents an even greater long-term challenge.
The Secretary said great power competition has expanded beyond the traditional concept of war, and space and cyber have emerged as new war-fighting domains.
It is time now for us to focus on developing joint concepts and doctrine to fight in a multi-domain environment. 3 weeks ago, I signed the documents formally establishing the United States Space Command. SpaceCom is now responsible for our daily operations of running our space systems and ensuring that our space capabilities are integrated into all of our plans and operations around the world.
Secretary Esper says for long-term dominance in space, SpaceCom is not enough.
We must take the leap ahead and create an independent Space Force as our newest armed service. The creation of Space Force will allow us to develop a cadre of warriors who are appropriately organized, trained, and equipped to deter aggression and, if necessary, to fight and win in space.
Defense Secretary Esper met with the Crown Prince of Bahrain at the Pentagon and said Bahrain has always been a steadfast partner to the United States, in large part because of the two nations' close security relationship.
Your nation has stepped up for decades to play a part in helping deter conflict in one of the most important parts of the world. We are grateful for the Kingdom's long-standing willingness to host the United States Fifth Fleet, a partnership that began in 1995. This is indicative of the strong ties between our countries.
The Secretary also said recent events have shown that Iran continues to violate international norms and instead has chosen to promote instability and danger throughout the region.
We greatly appreciate you working together with us and other friends of the rule of law and security to deter further provocative acts by Iran.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff says the United States is giving Saudi Arabia time to assess the September 14 attacks on its oil facilities, but all signs point to Iran or Iranian proxies. Marine Corps General Joe Dunford told reporters traveling with him in London the U.S. doesn't have an unblinking eye over the Middle East. Intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities are focused on routine threats and do not necessarily see everything that goes on in the region. The general said the military is planning options for the president and other civilian leaders. He stressed that a military response is only one possibility and noted that economic, political, and diplomatic responses are available as well. That's your DoD News Brief. I'm Mark Weeks. You can find more stories about your military at defense.gov and by using hashtag KnowYourMil.